What's going on, everybody? My name is Banderas, and welcome to the first episode of Social Discording, a podcast all about life stuck at home in the midst of this quarantine. I'm Banderas, and here are my two co-hosts. We've got on my left. Is this how I turn left? This is how I turn left. I'm actually turning right, but in the video call, I'm turning left. We've got Joey Spicy Fries. How's it going?
Hi, how you doing?
And down there with no face to call his own, we've got Lego Akbar, aka DJ Zaxt. I think he's going by in this instance of reality.
DJ Zach's Bar.
General Zaxt Bar.
Woo!
It's a trap.
I would say that the person with the most names that have to do with Star Wars is the least qualified person to have Star Wars things revolving around him. You had Count to Cow, and now Zach Bar. And you're like the least Star Wars fan amongst the three of us. I mean, you're not a Star Wars fan, but you know.
You guys are just on another level.
But the amount of fandoms that I am a part of is too big to comprehend.
It's staggering, really.
Carton of milk spills over.
I think that's kind of for all of us. Well, maybe me not as much as you guys, but I feel like we all definitely have our things that we're into and we specialize in. But with that being said, with being inside for the past few days or weeks at this rate now, what have you guys been up to? What have you guys been playing? What's really been keeping you interested?
Well, real quick, let me just explain the show just for our listeners to understand what we're actually doing. Is we are three white men with computers at home, and so we're gonna start a podcast because that's what you do at the middling ages of the mid-20s. And we're stuck at home. We're quarantined. Stuck at home, quote unquote. And yeah, we're bored and we want to just talk, and we're just gonna shoot the shit, have a very casual conversation, and try to make each other bust up laughing if that's possible. And maybe you can too. Let us know if you bust up laughing.
While people are just out there in public catching COVID-19, suffocating internally.
I just wanted to. I guess I want to talk about. Before we started, I said like, oh, let's not get too heavy-handed with this, but I want to get heavy-handed with this for right now and talk about the protesters in Ohio and Huntington Beach who are protesting like the stay-at-home orders because it invades their freedoms. And I wanted to know what you guys thought about these guys and that like zombie army picture, like being pressed up against the wall demanding their government let them out of the house even though they're out of the house.
I'll actually talk about this really quick. It's actually kind of interesting because they're dealing with this in like Wisconsin as well. Kind of more Central America and in these more spaced out states, which, it just makes sense. I think Wisconsin right now has like 360 cases and today is April 18th. So it's relatively small and it makes sense because, they're not around it here in California, I guess, for this example. Those people are fucking idiots because we're all next to each other and they just are too selfish for the greater good. I mean, I think right now we're at a point of history where it's like, we're all in this together. Like, if you want to be an asshole and go outside, like, go for it and get sick, but don't be an asshole and spread it to other people.
But that's the thing, is that they're gonna, these are the people who refuse to learn, refuse to think critically. And when approached with a message from two different sources, one being like established professional experts at being able to like coordinate these things and figure out what's going on, and literal propaganda like bullshit media hosts, they have a terrible way of determining which one they should listen to, and it's dangerous for everyone. And it's like, if you were to go to the grocery store right now and these people could walk around and just be spreading the whole thing around, and they don't well, I mean, they know better, but they also don't know better.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic. Joey, what do you think?
It's just a horrible situation. This is something that shouldn't have spread as bad as it has, but there's the ignorant people of the world that choose to live the way they do, and because of it, millions, many people are suffering because of it, and it's not right.
Would you
you
say
do
that
this?
a certain someone who has a very distinct ability to respond to this issue is also one of those people who are very ignorant?
Yes.
We don't have to get too political, but I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, we
But
can
would
we can establish at the get go that we're not the biggest fans of the Denver Broncos. Just
right.
it's not, we're not into them. They're just not. It's not our team.
I
Not
don't
our
like.
team.
I like to keep my job.
I was really happy when it was announced the Denver Broncos had their season suspended. That was pretty cool. Good thing. Those guys don't deserve to play.
Good memes.
Good memes.
I was hearing though, if we just want to keep this topic going for a little bit longer, I was actually hearing though that there is some speculation that it did in fact come from that testing facility, that they're gathering more evidence that there was like a intern that was working there and caught something that he shouldn't have from one of their testing, and brought it home to her boyfriend or something like that. And a lot more people are actually getting more information about this and thinking that this is actually a possibility. A lot of people are thinking that.
Are you talking about for the basketball team?
No. I'm talking about the original Wuhan location. There's a testing facility where they test viruses and whatnot. This is known, 100% known.
Oh, I see what you mean. I don't know.
And they were saying that there's more evidence that's been coming out where there's someone went home to her boyfriend and then went to the wet markets where all these animals and whatever for their food are, and transmitted it that way. And that can also explain why there's such this inconsistency in the virus, where some people have no symptoms and some people are super young and have full-blown symptoms and pass. And they think that it's possibly because the person that got this virus, the virus itself wasn't perfected, so it wasn't a standard virus where it's the flu, most people don't die from it, kind of thing. Although obviously people do die from the flu.
What do you mean
we're seeing a lot more inconsistencies with COVID-19.
Oh, I see. Well, I mean the flu affects people in different ways a lot of times. I mean, I've gotten really bad cases and really minor cases as well. I think that I think overall it's going to be very difficult to exactly tell what the source of it is, because it's so nebulous, and figuring and tracing that back to an origin point is just kind of it's almost impossible. I don't think that you never even know. I mean, who knows when? I mean, it could have been that person got affected by someone else, and it was just a coincidence that they worked in a lab.
Right.
Sounds like a theory. Game theory.
Speaking of games, Joey, what did you want to talk about today? Nailed that transition.
I mean, there's a few games out there that have been fun to play while stuck at home.
I feel like I can name three.
Call of Duty's been one of them.
Three that are the big ones right now that are being talked about. Well,
Definitely.
more like five, but we can do three today because we're not going to talk about Valorant.
I think I know two of them for sure. One of them being Call of Duty, the other Animal Crossing.
Oh yeah, of course. These are the fuel that drives our.
I thought you guys were talking of Town of Salem.
Blast from the past, that game.
Mega Poker. Yeah, that's the one. I don't even remember the names of the games. I just remember seeing them in my install. We were trying to play
online poker
together.
When we gather,
online poker through Steam.
Because when we gather in person, we'll occasionally play poker with real money. We'll gamble with each other, which is fun. So we're like, hey, let's go online and find a alternative version that we.
Could not get it to work. If any of you know a version that works, it's safe to play.
That's free.
Down below.
Free. I think that the idea that we're looking for is that it shouldn't be free. Is that if we pay $5, I think that would work. But I don't really want to play poker online. Like that doesn't feel like it's a real thing. It just seems like we could be playing a different game. And if we're in real life, yeah, totally, let's play some poker. But like online, it just seems so silly.
Anyways, going back to Call of Duty and Animal Crossing, what have you been enjoying? And
Let's
give us
talk.
your thoughts.
Let's talk Call of Duty before
Yeah.
Joey and I like start talking stocks.
Nerd.
Hey, it's not nerdy. It's Animal Crossing. I would say is the one video game, not the one video game, but like one of those video games where it's like, if you play Animal Crossing, that's not being a nerd because there are so many people of all different shapes of the spectrum like playing Animal Crossing. And
It's
loving
just
it.
preparing you for life.
It's
You're
true.
learning about the stock market. You're walking in on people taking shits in houses.
Apparently, Joey walked in on one of his villagers taking a big old deucer.
They're sitting on the toilet. I'm just like, all right, this is happening.
But yeah, Call of Duty.
Awkward confrontations.
Speaking of duty, let's go to Call of Duty.
Speaking of duty, what's happening with Call of Duty?
I bought it for a very, very reasonable price from Redbox, and I thought, what the hell?
Rest in
I
peace,
think this will be
Redbox.
fun. But only thing is, you guys didn't have it, and I never played it with Alex, so it was kind of just like, all right, well, this is fun. I'm enjoying it. But then Warzone came out, and it was, another battle royale for us to enjoy.
Goodness,
We all found it to be fun.
it is so. It's such like the perfect storm of like mechanics that just kind of work and are simple enough to understand, but once you know them, you know them.
Mhm.
Versus so many other battle royales that are based around these mechanics that are very complicated to learn and master at the same time.
right,
With
like
Fortnite,
with you got to worry about building.
exactly. It's like building is a tough thing to do, and I don't think any of us really ever got it. We were just kind of doing it as best we could. And then in Apex, there's like this parkour mechanic that creates this fast-paced momentum, and all these abilities with these different characters are very similar to Overwatch. That makes it very complicated. Where if we were the three of us, we would have to know all these different mechanics if we want it to be good. Call of Duty, you don't need any of that. You just play, and you
Exactly.
can come up with a strategy that kind of works.
Well, and also, I mean, we're 90s children, so we kind of grew up on Call of Duty. That was our multiplayer upbringing.
But I don't know if that actually helps with anything here. I mean, it's so different than classic.
I mean,
Call
it's
of
not
Duty.
like, yeah, that's true. But I mean, it's also not like it's not like Fortnite where it's all new to us. I mean, we won within the first few days of playing just because we kind of were familiar with strategy, communication, maybe. But
I guess so,
I'm
but
having a lot of fun with it.
none of that comes from Call of Duty. The communication is
Yeah.
that's why you
Yeah.
play Call of Duty, so you don't have to communicate.
After I said it, I was kind of like,
Yeah. Well, I think
Pull
it's
that
just
one back.
I think if to actually equate it 1-to-1 is that our first person shooter abilities, I'm gonna call them skills because we're terrible, came from Call of Duty. And this, being Call of Duty versus Fortnite, which is the third person. Fortnite's third person, right? Yeah, third person. And Apex being so kind
Fortnite
of different.
is not third person.
Yeah, it is.
It's first
Yes,
person.
it is. No, it's third person.
Is it?
You see your character all the time. Third person.
Yeah, it's third
Hmm.
person.
Unless you're
Anyways,
scoping in, obviously, then it's first person.
you're right.
It's a bit of both.
Yeah, it's just the perfect storm of a battle royale that just feels like all the mechanics, and it feels like you can always jump into a game, and you will have a chance to get the setup of guns that you want, and that's by design. Whereas with Fortnite and Apex, I feel like there's a good chance, like you need to know how to use everything because otherwise you might run into something that you're just like, this is a gold gun and it's a sniper and I'm not great with snipers, but I got to use it because it's a gold gun. Versus Call of Duty, it's like, okay, eventually I'll get a loadout, so I'll be able to get the stuff that I like. And boy howdy, do I fucking love rocket launchers in this game.
You and
it's
me
the-
both.
It's the best
Dude.
thing ever.
Truthfully, the most underrated
my
weapon
God.
in the game right now.
Seriously. They should make a game mode where it's all just launchers.
Oh,
I
I'm
feel
sure
like it's good. Oh yeah, just launchers. I feel like there's distinct games in which a rocket launcher is so useful, and that's specifically when the map is a bit janky. I don't know. It's kind of like certain maps make people want to use cars more, and I don't know what exactly it is, if it's like a central map or like one that's really off the side with the circle. And you'll just run into a ton of people with cars, and they all just like line up just to be popped out of the sky. It's so fun, so amazing, just to get like triple kill, team wiped. It's like, oh yes, thank you.
I love that so much.
What we were actually doing last night, Joe wasn't there, so I'll just fill you in.
I'll tell you what I was doing later.
We jumped in a heli, and I was a pilot. Joey was off to the side, and we were just chasing down cars from the air. So it was a lot of fun.
Ooh, that sounds fun. I've never
Back-to-back
rocket
triple kill
launch.
team wipes.
We
I don't know if
literally
I've-
were just scanning the map. Like, we weren't playing any objective. We were just like, okay, let's just patrol around, and if we see anyone, I'm gonna pull up, and Joey launches at them.
It worked.
Oh, you should do that, but
A
also
little
look
bit.
out for people parachuting and try to get them.
Yeah, we did come across some people, but it's really hard.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say about Call of Duty? It's fun. It's free, and it's a pretty like.
Warzone is free. You should clarify.
Well, yeah, but that's what we're talking about. I mean, we could talk about the actual not free part of Call of Duty, because I have things to say about the campaign and the multiplayer.
We can jump into that, but let me just say really quick. I do like Warzone. I think it's really great. I also like at the beginning of Call of Duty, when I first jumped in, I wasn't too fond of the skins, but now that I see them, they kind of make more sense to me. Like, not that I would see myself buying any, but I actually enjoy the skins in the game, like how they do it. You get the full gun loadout, you get all the exclusive attachments for it. It's actually quite a good deal for the.
I see what you mean.
It's pretty
Yeah.
neat.
I don't think it's a good deal at all. I don't think any like microtransactions in battle royales are worth the purchase, unless
No,
you're
I
doing
mean,
like a
of
battle
course,
pass.
of course they're not. I mean, and we bought.
Alex and I got the battle pass last night, but I mean, I only need 4 more 100 credit bonuses to pay for the next one. So
That's a
Right,
good
and
point.
then you can just kind of fall in like that loop of like, use the battle pass to pay for the battle pass kind of thing.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's how they get you. I'll talk really quick about the multiplayer. Multiplayer is just fun. It works. It's Call of Duty, and there's cool game modes, cool maps, and stuff like that. And I think that they're doing a good job of throwing out some old maps and throwing in some new maps. And there's some new maps I really like, and there's a couple that I really fucking hate. Like that big giant map that we played on that one time. That was just like, why is this map this big? It's crazy how big this map is.
Yeah, or you get like the shipping container map with gun game, and everyone's like an
I
inch
love
away
that
from it.
one, that small map where everyone spawns on everyone at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That's perfect for if you're like, mission hunting and you get those missions where it's like, oh, do 5 double kills in a game or something like that. It's easy. Just fucking throw a rocket at someone. There you go.
Yeah.
10 kills for you.
Yeah, and
Right.
the campaign, I feel like it looks good, and there's a lot of cool parts to it that you get to do, but I feel like it's just the same Call of Duty campaign that's been done to death for a decade. I think people were like, "Oh my god, it's so different." Like, this is like, they really did a good job with this campaign, where it's like it's like a brand new experience. Like, oh my god, it was like the best shooter campaign I've ever played. Sure, if you want to say that, but I think it's just like you were just doing the same old things, and all like the moments that are supposed to hit hard, like, just feel like junk food action movie. The thing, it's like, oh, we got the Americans, they're the good guys, and we got the Russians, they're the bad guys, but we also got the Middle Eastern people. But there's a twist. There's 2 factions of Middle Eastern people. One's good, one's bad. It's just like, okay, cool. Like, America good, everyone else bad.
I played it from start to finish. It was fun. I enjoyed it, but I mean,
How
like
much do you
said,
remember
it's just
of it?
beaten to death. Huh?
How much do you remember of it?
The final cutscene.
Like, I got to like the plot twist where it's like the actual, like, one of the bad guys, like, is revealed. Like, I probably like 8 or 9 levels in, and I was just like, okay, I guess you're the bad guy. And there's like this, like, the whole thing, you're searching for this gas, like this evil chemical gas, And it's
Yeah.
just like, it's this nebulous thing. It's like, oh, we got to get the gas. And I'm just like, I don't, with this gas, like, who cares? We haven't even experienced what this gas is. And then halfway through the game, you actually experience what the gas is. And it's like, it's just poison gas. Like, this isn't, I don't feel anything from this. It doesn't make me care about anything that's happening here. Yeah, it's Call of Duty. It's fun.
The multiplayer
I mean,
is fun.
but you also can't
Fun.
hate them. They did try switching it up back in the day when they added like the flying mechanics and like the wall running. Do you guys remember
The
that?
jetpacks and the wall runs.
Yeah, and people.
Well,
people
I mean, no, they were just trend following because like like there was a couple other things that were games that were doing that, like Titanfall, and everyone's like, oh, we gotta have that in our game.
It's just not Call of Duty. It's
Yeah.
not.
And I'm glad they're back to the normal multiplayer mechanic, but the campaign is just like it's fun. It's also kind of glitchy, but I just don't. I never feel like, and maybe this is because I'm playing on PC, so I don't have the actual rumble, but I don't feel like I'm doing anything when I kill someone. It's just like
The original
there's a
Modern
guy
Warfare
there.
didn't have sliding in it, did it?
No,
No.
as a
So
sort
they
of
kept that in this, and that's pretty cool. I like that mechanic. That's
sort of a
good
Black
mechanic.
Ops thing. That
It's actually it's kind of weird because I got the Modern Warfare 2 remake, or not remake, remaster. It's still the same game, and I'm running around the fucking map trying to slide, and it's just not doing it. I'm like, this
nope,
sucks.
not a thing.
Not a thing.
What was I going to say about? Oh yeah, just like when you in multiplayer, shooting a person feels good. It's like super fun. You get that hit markers, and just like it feels awesome when you kill someone.
Mm-hmm.
In campaign though, it just feels like you're shooting targets that just you don't feel any impact. There's nothing that like there that like makes you feel like, oh yeah, I killed someone. Like imagine I've never played the new Doom games, but I imagine I just watching people do things in Doom is just like, oh my god, that looks visceral and it looks awesome. It's just Call of Duty. Just you don't have that feedback of like
No,
what it means to
definitely
actually
not.
kill something.
Doom story and campaign is just so much different compared to a Call of Duty campaign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's move on. We can talk about Animal Crossing now if we want. We don't talk too much since Dylan's not playing, but I just wanted to point out something that I wanted to like a little thing I wanted to do every week is describe my coffee cup. This week's coffee mug is my Kingdom Hearts coffee mug that my mom gave me, and it's very subtly Kingdom Hearts. It's got little symbols all around the mug, and it's kind of cool. And even with me being such a Kingdom Hearts nerd, there's so many symbols here that I'm like, what the fuck is this portal thing that's on here? Like I'm like, that's a Dream Eater, that's a Unversed. I don't know what this boxy thing is. Like it's kind of weird, but yeah, Kingdom Hearts.
We should do that every week. We all bring a mug with story behind it.
I don't have enough mugs, but yeah.
That's what I'm doing, and for me,
mug intel.
I think this.
I
think it'll be really really fun when Dylan's like, "This is my mug this week," and it's just Admiral Ackbar and a green bar.
Yeah, I mean, I can take a picture.
Yeah, Animal Crossing. It is. I just want to.
It's a joy.
It's a joy.
It is a joy.
I've played 2 Animal Crossing games. I played New Leaf and New Horizons. New Leaf I played for a good chunk, maybe 20 hours, and I just got bored of it. I felt like the mechanics were really, really, really similar to New Horizons, but there was just so many quality of life things that New Horizons adds that are just so good and make it so much better. There's a few more that they could add that would make it great, but for now, I'm just enjoying it so much. I think I checked my playtime, and I may have left my game on at some point, but it said 60 hours, and I was like, fuck. How am I playing so much?
You thought Haley was shocked by my Pokemon playtime. You don't want to see my playtime for Animal Crossing.
Well, let's hear it. What is it? What you got?
I'm sitting at 145.
Holy fuck. Like, that's testament to a good game. And I think a lot of people are on like the social medias are starting to slow down, being like, man, there's not enough to do in Animal Crossing. Like, and it's like they have like 70 hours, 80 hours of playtime. It's just like, I mean, you played the game. Like, it's okay to fall off of it. It's not the end of the world. Like, I'm okay with I'll probably fall off of Animal Crossing in like a month or so, and then just come back for events and stuff. So, you know, it's not a big deal. But goddamn, stocks are my favorite thing in this game. It's so fun to do.
It's addicting.
Play the stock market. it's just fun to like, like keep track of all your numbers and like it's like, okay, what are you at today? Like what's going on? And that engagement with like I have a bunch of friends who I'm like talking about like their numbers with. And it's just like, okay, Haley, make sure you check your goddamn turnip prices before you leave for work. I just it's so addicting, and it's such a joy and just this cute little separation from reality that we get to play on a daily basis, and there's so much things to do.
Definitely a gift from Nintendo.
Mm-hmm. I want to stream some Animal Crossing. Maybe we'll do that after this. We'll go on and stream, but obviously we're recording this, we're not streaming this podcast. Mm-hmm. We'll eventually stream the podcast, but not today. Today is the first go around. We don't really have
this is a test run
podcast.
Let us know how we're doing.
A pilot, if you would. But yeah, do you have anything else to say about Animal Crossing? I think we can talk about it more in a different video.
I say save more for later.
Yeah, save more for later. I just want to say I can't wait for more events to happen. I know people weren't happy with the Easter event. Sorry,
Big Day was
Bunny Day event. But I think that they'll fix. Nintendo seems to be.
They'll see what they did wrong, and they will tone it down next time.
And not do it during the Cherry Blossom thing as well. I think that the amazing thing about what's been happening the last few weeks is the amount of updates that Nintendo's put out for this game. Mm-hmm. They have been responding to criticisms and updating and fixing things very fast and pushing out updates very quickly, which is amazing to see. It's something that out of the company. Exactly. Obviously Nintendo could be way more transparent and their online systems could be miles better, but just to see them like
Miles, I see what you did there.
Look, Miles. Just to see them go from like no updates for a game and then now to be like, okay, the Easter thing had this problem, let's fix that right now, push that update, blah blah blah, this update coming later, and actually have patch notes and whatnot. It's just like, thank you, please, good God.
No, I agree. It's pretty cool that they've been so responsive with updating and fixing it.
So I have a left field topic that I wanted to bring to the field, and it's a game show idea that Dylan knows very well, and he was my first test subject in this game show idea. We talked about it. I think it was the last time we were actually online, Dylan. But it is the everyone's favorite game show. Choose my porn video.
What?
This is
what?
I just thought of the idea of like, what if there was like a game show, maybe not even a game show, but like like a social media challenge where you tag someone a porn video. like you know how there's like those viral like tagging things, like the ALS challenge, or
right.
like the cinnamon challenge or whatever.
Yes.
What if it was you tag someone?
That would be interesting. Some people would definitely get screwed over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, you can't say that. What? That needs to be cut.
I mean, it could be cut, but we have to cut it.
You should have said, "Oh, grandma."
No, stop. What the fuck is this topic?
Okay, let's get off this topic. Anyways, another big game that we've been playing, and something that's been going around that we haven't really gathered our thoughts on is Echo from Overwatch.
Oh, I was like, where are you going with this? I'm like, what other games do you play though?
So Overwatch just released a new character, Echo.
I think it's the final character. I think this is it. I think this is the last character before Overwatch 2.
Yeah.
Which, if you're playing Overwatch, it doesn't matter because you're going to get upgraded anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right. We've all tried her. We've all played a few rounds with her. So I guess we could just kind of say what we think about her. I'll go first. I think she's really OP at this moment in time. I mean, obviously, I guess it would make sense. They balance her back out. But I really, really, really like her moveset. I think it's pretty dynamic, and her ult is like fucking hilarious because there's so many funny things that you can do with it.
Yeah, totally. it's such a game changer. And if you're someone who plays multiple characters and has a good understanding of like all these different kinds of situations, just having that like I can just pick whatever I want for this situation is really cool. And I think that they did a decent job of balancing the ult charges for certain characters. I think some characters they need to cut back on how quickly you can charge ult via Echo's ult. Because like with Zarya, like I've tried to transform into Zarya twice, and I could never get enough charge for ult. It just like it takes forever, and that's probably by design.
Maybe.
But I saw a clip with Reaper where someone Death Blossomed, hit like a target like 3 times in the stomach, like a Roadhog 3 times in the stomach, and then got another Death Blossom. I was just like, holy crap, that's
Wait,
not okay.
You can double Death Blossom?
If you can charge up the ult, if you can charge it multiple times, you can use it till Echo's ult ends.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna fix that. They probably should. But
No. I think that's by design because, and I think a lot of this whole and this happens with every character. I think except Sombra, because with Sombra they really wanted to keep Sombra weak at the beginning. My cat's going crazy right now. I think he just poops. That's why he's running around like a maniac. He does like
morning poop.
When he poops, he's just like, I'm gonna go for a run. Just zips around all over the place. I think every character is gonna be called OP until people figure it out and they're like, okay, this is what you're supposed to do with that. Like with what's a good example of a character? With Wrecking Ball. With Wrecking Ball, you can say that Wrecking Ball is very OP because he has such insane movement, a lot of health, and the ability just to get out of any situation. Like, it's so hard to kill a Wrecking Ball. But it's like, we're playing Overwatch, you're supposed to switch. And as soon as you're like, you see that Wrecking Ball, it's like, okay, we need a Mei, we need a Roadhog, we need a McCree that can just stun lock this thing, prevent it from getting that shield or whatever, and just take it out, as best we can. We need to focus down this Wrecking Ball. Or just fucking ignore it because it's Wrecking Ball, and Wrecking Ball can't kill for shit. Unless you're really letting him get inside your team. So it's like, with Echo, I'm sure there'll come a time, I'm grabbing my coffee cup, I'm putting that away because there's no more coffee in it, where people have figured out what to do with Echo and be like, okay, this is the strategy that you're supposed to employ with Echo. Hit scan, obviously when she's flying up in the air, she's pretty vulnerable. She doesn't have the damage output that Pharah does immediately. And she's very vulnerable if she doesn't have her cooldowns. Versus Pharah, who's in the air, and her best attack is her primary fire. Whereas Echo's best attack isn't her primary fire.
So
and there's no splash damage. Yeah. So I think there is some balance that just people need to learn how to play. But maybe there are some situations like that double Reaper Death Blossom that was just way too fast that I think they could mitigate.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Oh, and then people have some...
They definitely need to even it.
Yeah, and there's the conceptual issue of like, okay, if I'm Echo and I jump into the enemy team and I take almost all my health is gone, I ult into anything really, and I get full health back. And then I play, boom, 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 and I get killed as my ult, and I spawn back as Echo with full health again. You essentially get 3 lives with this ult, which is kind of...
Seriously.
Might need some toning down. I mean, it's not OP, it's just like...
No, but
it's
like,
just...
that's OP in the sense that you really gotta freaking work to kill that thing if it's got
I feel like
much life.
I feel like calling it OP is like OP, like obviously it means overpowered, which yes, it is overpowered.
I'll just say it's unfair.
No, but like what I'm saying is in terms of like it's almost like a bad word to use, like a swear that's like overused in terms of like how people describe things as OP. Because when people say that something is OP, they said, this needs to get nerfed now. What are you doing, Blizzard? Stop being like, go back to work right now. Risk yourself from infection and fix this problem. Like, that's what they mean when they say OP. So it's just like, I feel like calling something OP is like generalizing it a little too much. And I think it's just a little bit too strong right now. And it could be toned back and remixed a bit.
Okay.
Let's use our better words, because people get hurt when we use those bad words. Even though OP literally means overpowered, which describes it perfectly, but because OP has been used too much in modern.
It's too OP now.
Jesus.
OP is OP, yeah. Nerf OP. Blizzard, go out there, take to the streets, demand change. Yeah, we're approaching the end of the show here, and I think that the only other thing that I want to talk about was Final Fantasy, because I stayed up till 3:30 last night, and I wasn't even playing that whole time. I think I finished the game at like 2, and then I spent an hour and a half just like watching podcasts and stuff like that, discussing it. Oh my god, what a game. Holy cow. This is one of my favorite games of all time. It is probably going to be my game of the year. I am like, what a fucking game. Just the entire like last hour, I just had chills in myself. I was just like, oh my god, I can't believe this is how they're going with it. And I know, Joey, you're playing. What chapter are you in right now?
I haven't progressed since we last talked.
So you're like in the like chapter 1 or 2 or something?
Yeah.
You need to jump into it and just like get established into it, because that game will start to really pick up momentum.
Gotcha.
The thing about Final Fantasy VII Remake is that when it was first pitched, we're like, we're going to do it episodic. And it's like, what does that mean, episodic? Like, how do you do an RPG episodically? Like, are they going to break it down to 3 parts and we're just going to get it over the course of like a bunch of years? Like, I guess that makes sense. It's a pretty big game, and it's pretty hard to make a modern game that long and that quality. And if you look at the quality of this game in terms of the set pieces, that's like, holy cow. No wonder they broke it up into 3 parts.
Right.
But at the same time, all I'll say is that if everything were to have gone exactly how they did in the original game, at this point the conversation would be, oh, when is the next part going to come out? And I wonder when it's going to end. Like, when is part 2 what is the equivalent endpoint in part 2 compared to the original game?
Okay.
That would be the end of the conversation, because there's nothing else to talk about, because it's a remake. The conversation that will happen for the next year or so is, holy shit, where are they gonna fucking go with this? Like,
yeah.
All I'll say is shit's different. It's not a remake of Final Fantasy VII. It's a remake of the world of Final Fantasy.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Wow. Just play it. Square and Tetsuya Nomura are just going off and doing their thing, and I'm in for every moment of it, because I am a Kingdom Hearts fan, and that shit's my jam.
That's I can't talk. Bread and butter.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, I think, and the worst thing about social media right now about this game is that every reviewer and their mother described the ending as getting Kingdom Heartsy. And now every person in every goddamn comment section is like, it's too Kingdom Heartsy for me. Like, fuck, find your own words. Don't be just a schlub of like, whatever. I guarantee you Donkey's going to come out with a video where it's like, Final Fantasy has become Kingdom Heartsy, and Kingdom Heartsy has become Kingdom Hearts. Like, just stop.
I like Donkey videos.
I used to love Donkey videos, and then he made fun of Kingdom Hearts, and now I want to kill him. I'm
he makes fun of everything.
He does.
No one is safe.
I don't like Donkey's fans, because they take his word as gospel, and it's not. His word is not gospel. He's not the end all be all of video game opinions. And yeah, it's funny. Knack 2, baby.
Really quickly though, I guess, do we want Valorant ever so slightly? Or do
we want to talk about Valorant? We can talk about that another time. I feel like it would be better off if you guys get a chance to actually play it. So, I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't know.
And with that,
I don't even have a second of gameplay.
Yeah, that's gonna be it for our show today. We went 30. It's gonna be about 30. It's probably gonna be about 40 minutes by the time the show's over, which is actually pretty good, I think. All right,
Not bad.
Little morning show. Yeah, so this is Social Discording. It's just a podcast. There's literally nothing. There's no pitch. There's no catch. We're not trying to hook you into this. If you like our voices, and if you like what you heard today, and my topic about picking your friend's porn video. If
this mug is not too ugly, stick around.
Look at that shaven face. That quality shaven face.
I hate it.
Social Discording. I'm Bander Sen with my co-host Joey Spicy Fries and General Axe Zaxbar.
Zaxbar.
It's a trap. Remember, boys.
What was that?
It's a trap.
Oh yeah.
That's all you gotta know.
That's all you gotta know. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys next time. YouTube.com/Bandersend, Twitch.tv/Bandersend. We got unified social media channels. We got Twitters, I think. Mine's like at Joe's Beats. Same with my Instagram.
We got Pinterest pages. We got Reddit forums.
Follow me.
We got Facebook.
Follow me
We got
on
Instagram.
Vine. Check out my.
Fine.
I was gonna say LinkedIn. That's not what I wanted. What's that? LimeWire. That's it. Yeah. Have a good night, guys, or morning.
Bye.
Or it's the morning, I guess. Goodbye.
It's morning. Goodbye.